Hey troops, welcome back to the channel. It's been a long time coming, but today we're going to be reacting to 5 scary reasons why China, Russia and North Korea can't kill the US Navy. Getting back on track, guys. Apologies for my absence over the past month or so. I have been away, spending time with family, all that good stuff. But we are back and we're ready to get into this video, guys. Before we do, smash that like button, subscribe, drop a comment below. Tell me what you think about this video. And let's just get into it, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Let's do it.
5 reasons why no one can beat the U.S. Navy.
Right, okay, so we've done videos like this before, 5 reasons. You don't really need any other reason other than one. It's just a stupid idea. The US Navy is absolutely huge, guys, all right? It's hard to imagine just how big the US Navy is, but let me take it from it. It's massive, all right? I served in the Royal Marines. I worked alongside the US Navy, US Marines, and just the sheer size of the guys, you can't match with these people, okay? Let's do it. There we go. Have a look at the bloody size of that. That is, you know, these fleets are massive, and that's just a tiny portion of the US military.
The United States Navy is the largest and most advanced Navy in the world, fielding everything from aircraft carriers and maritime patrol aircraft to submarines, destroyers, and unmanned helicopters.
Whoa, hang on a minute. That doesn't even look real. What the? I didn't realize I was looking at it. It hasn't actually got mirrors. or windows, rather.
So when your editor asks you to choose the Navy's 5 most lethal weapon systems, your most difficult challenge is trying to narrow it down to just 5 selections. For this article, I bypassed the larger platforms such as the aircraft carriers and amphibious assault ships. To be sure, those are actually the most lethal weapons in the Navy's arsenal. However, everybody knows them, and as big platforms, they're...
Actually, I'm going to be a little bit biased here. The most dangerous part of the US Navy's arsenal is the US Marines, all right? I know they've got a slightly separate entity, but the US Navy, US Marines work similar to how the Royal Marines and the Royal Navy work, all right? They work hand in hand together. The US Navy control the seas, and the guys who literally protect everything and do all the killing basically is the US Marines. So I would argue that the most powerful part of the US Navy is in fact the US Marines. What do you think about that?
Actually the sum of many smaller ones. Instead, I wanted to highlight platforms that were outstanding in some particular way, with an emphasis on the biggest bang for the buck. I also wanted to spread out the selection. It's easy to merely include surface ships and submarines, ignoring aircraft and certain missions.
Yeah.
Before proceeding, it's worth noting that the Navy is currently on the cusp of a technological revolution. With new ships, fighters, radars, lasers, railguns, and unmanned systems on the horizon.
This is the thing that I don't think gets spoken about a lot about the US Navy in particular, is the technology that we get to understand and get to know and hear about in Civvy Street as normal people is a much diluted version of actually what they've got, all right? I think it would literally blow people's brains at the true extent of the technology that does exist within the US Navy. It is far superior than we could even imagine, and even what we are being given and information-wise is really superior. It's way more than that.
10 years a repeat of this may look very different. Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer. Named after the legendary World War II admiral, the Arleigh Burke-class destroyers are some of the most balanced, capable ships fielded by...
And good looking as well. That's a good looking ship, okay? I mean, you look at some of these Russian and Chinese ships, they're hideous in my personal opinion.
Any modern Navy. The Burke-class is the backbone of the fleet, with some 62 vessels comprising over a fifth of all the ships in the Navy. The heart of the Burke's combat system is in its Aegis radar system, which is capable of directing a variety of air defense missiles against incoming targets. Aegis can coordinate the defense of an entire naval surface group. And with the new cooperative engagement capability, the Burkes can fire on targets at extended ranges using targeting data from platforms such as the E-2D Hawkeye. The Burke class is capable of launching Evolved Sea Sparrow air defense missiles against short and medium-range targets, and SM-2 and SM-6 missiles against long-range aerial targets.
I mean, just the fact that it can defend itself really, really well, it leaves it in a really good position, okay? I think that's where modern militaries tend to fall by the wayside a little bit, all right? They have all of this good technology in the ship, but they haven't really got the ability to fully defend themselves against an onslaught. Now, the U.S. military tend to have all of their assets in place, and if they're good at doing something, they're good at defending themselves. That's one thing you have to admit with the US military in general. They can not only attack, but they have the ability and the technology to defend very, very effectively. And it's no different with this scenario.
Many destroyers also have a ballistic missile defense capability.
That looks unbelievable, doesn't it?
And can launch SM-3 missiles specialized for engagement of ballistic missiles.
Wow.
For anti-submarine warfare, the class has a built-in SQQ-89 sonar system.
Right, these terms, I'm obviously not really sure what they mean, but they sound cool, that's for sure.
With a towed sonar system scheduled for future upgrades. The ship mounts 6 Mark 46 anti-submarine torpedoes.
Right, who has took that photo? How have you managed to take that photograph there? Look at the guys on the top right there. Having a look at this thing getting absolutely blasted out of the torpedo tube. Awesome.
The ship's embarked MH-60R anti-submarine helicopters provide long-range anti-submarine capability, although only later versions of the Burke-class were built with hangars.
Right, what kind of helicopter is that again?
For a modern ship, the Burke-class is heavily armed with conventional guns. A 5-inch, 127mm gun is mounted on the bow, capable of anti-ship, shore bombardment, and even a limited anti-air roll.
But, and if you look back here, you got to get them mats down. You got to get them gym mats down, guys. If you haven't got the gym mats on the floor, you're going to end up wrecking the ship. And if you've been in a ship, you'll understand that you do not want to do that, all right? That deck is quite a sacred place, okay? And it'll be pristinely clean. It's where the US Marines probably do all of their physical activities. Yeah, eating crayons and all that good stuff. It's happy days, isn't it?
Anti-ship, shore bombardment, and even a limited anti-air roll. 2 25mm guns and 4 50 caliber machine guns were added after the suicide attack on the USS Cole in 1999. Finally, each ship has 2 Phalanx 1B close-in weapon systems. Right,
I've seen one of these things. These things can rip through anything. You'll see, hopefully it shows a bit of footage of this thing ripping through the air. Anything that's coming its way, it's going to literally destroy. And the sheer velocity that this thing can project at, it's point and shoot, basically. It's going to tear it off. These things are incredible.
Designed to shoot down incoming missiles, but capable of firing on helicopters, UAVs, and small boats as well.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the way of this thing, guys. Anyone who's worked in the US Navy will be able to reiterate this. We've got a few friends who watch the channel regular who'll be able to clarify that. That thing is, it's a horrible bit of kit.
One area where the Burke-class comes up short is in its ability to engage enemy ships.
Ooh.
The ships are anemic in their anti-ship capability, with only older vessels even fielding 8 aging Harpoon anti-ship missiles. This has been by design, as no credible surface threat had existed, and the Navy is concentrated on the global war on terror mission. Missiles such as the Norwegian Naval Strike Missile and the Lockheed Martin Long-Range Anti-Ship Missile are in development and hold great promise as a future anti-ship missile of the fleet.
Right, so I do take that back a little bit about their defense capability always being up to scratch. In this case, it actually isn't. I don't know why they've lacked in that department there when all of the other weapon systems on it are actually fantastic. It can go against pretty much anything, bar a ship. Kind of seems a little bit of a fail in that on America's behalf. What do you think about that, guys?
The ships will likely be the longest class in production ever fielded by the U.S. Navy.
That's cool.
Arleigh Burke herself was commissioned in 1991, and production is expected to continue for another 50 years.
Right, so they've obviously got big plans to upgrade this thing. 50 years is a long time when you think about technologically the things that can actually change in the military. 50 years, that could be a completely different, it could look completely different. So I'd imagine a lot of these things are going to be getting upgraded and upgraded pretty soon.
That would mean nearly 40 years of near continuous production for a single type of destroyer.
Wow.
EA-18G Growler electronic attack aircraft. Based on the successful FA-18F Super Hornet, the EA-18 Growler is an electronic warfare aircraft with the performance of a fighter. Unlike its predecessor, the EA-6B Prowler, the Growler is capable of being used more aggressively, pacing high-performance fighter bombers on dangerous missions. The Growler is basically a two-seat Super Hornet with
Wow, so this thing's really capable. It's a two-seater. You can get double the bang for your buck, so to speak. Electronic warfare. So I don't know if it means in terms of it being able to counteract electronic capabilities of the enemy. I'm not really sure on that. If someone could let me know in the chat, that would be helpful. But the fact that it can double up as a fighter pilot type, as a fighter jet, then that makes it pretty adaptable. It's kind of got two main roles. That's pretty impressive.
90% commonality in some features between the two planes. The Super Hornet's internal M61 gun is deleted to accommodate an AN/ALQ-227 communications jamming system, and AN/ALQ-99 radar jamming pods are fitted to the plane's weapon stations.
Right, so the fact that it had a very effective weapon system on it already, they've took that off and they've put some other technological parts on to aid with electronic warfare. It makes it slightly less capable as a fighter jet in that respect, but not that much less when you consider the other weapon systems that it's got on it and the fact that it can do all of this jamming stuff and all of that kind of electronic warfare. It really does make it a powerful aircraft, in my opinion.
Growler has three capabilities. Firstly, it can support suppression of enemy air defense missions in support of drones or UAVs. Growler can jam communications and enemy radars on the ground and actively attack radars with anti-radar harm missiles.
I tell you what I do like about the US Navy, the color schemes that they've got on the different job roles within the ship. The Royal Navy doesn't have that, all right? Everyone's in the same uniform, and I get it. It works. It's worked for a long time, but I do like this. It's almost like a fail-safe. It's color-coded. It's very simple, but it works, and it works really well, in my opinion.
Conduct standoff and escort jamming against air defenses on the ground, enemy airborne early warning platforms, and enemy fighters. Growler can keep up with fighters conducting a counter-air sweep and keep enemy radars and communications scrambled. Third,
Smart. Really smart. What can you say?
Growler is also capable of what's called non-traditional electronic attack, a somewhat mysterious capability which supposedly allows it to integrate with ground defenses. In addition to those capabilities, Growler can also self-protect.
Right, so integrate with the ground capabilities. My only interpretation of that would be the forward air controllers. I'm trying to think if that's what it is. Forward air controllers, being able to get in, communicate with them more effectively. But then again, you can do that anywhere in most scenarios. So it has to be something more advanced than that. Not really sure what that means then. If someone in the chat could let me know, that would be really helpful.
Allowing fighters that would otherwise escort it to be used elsewhere. Growler is as fast and maneuverable as an FA-18F and can carry AMRAAM air-to-air missiles for defensive use. Despite its electronic warfare designation, it's still equipped with an APG-79 multi-mode AESA radar and a helmet-mounted cueing system for air-to-air combat.
Unreal.
100 Growlers have been delivered as of May 2014, and another 15 aircraft have been approved as part of the 2015 Congressional Defense Budget.
Right, so that was like 7 years ago. Things have changed since then. I wonder if they've still got many of these active in service. I'd imagine they would. They tend to project quite far into the future. As we've seen with some of the ships and stuff like that that they commission these things for 10, 20, 30 years plus. So in terms of its technology, it's double-edged sword in terms of how it can have two roles. I'd imagine that this thing's going to be in service for quite a while yet.
Virginia-class attack submarine.
These things are unreal.
One of the most successful weapons programs of the post-Cold War period, the Virginia-class attack submarine combines one of the most advanced nuclear attack submarines with an affordable shipbuilding program. At least 33 units are planned. Each Virginia-class is 377 feet long and 34 feet in diameter and weighs 7,800 tons submerged.
So it's a big beast of a bit of kit.
Each has 12 vertical launch tubes for Tomahawk missiles, as well as 4 533mm torpedo tubes capable of launching Mark 48 ADCAP homing torpedoes.
The thing is, which I didn't fully understand with these bits of kit when I was in the Royal Marines, is just how scared people can get, other militaries can get. If you've truly got a real good submarine capability, especially if it's nuclear or if it carries nuclear warheads, you're going to keep naughty countries at bay. All right, naughty countries at bay. And what I mean by that is you can be anywhere in the ocean at a given time, fully loaded, ready to go. Now, if a country gets out of step or out of line, you just don't know what's around the corner. All right, these things can launch anywhere if they're good enough to stay submerged and concealed. You really don't know where these things are going to turn up, and if you don't know that, you've got to be careful what you do. We've got a system called Trident, and it's a fantastic system that keeps the UK safe at all times. You don't know where this thing is at any given time. It's a fantastic bit of kit.
Mines and torpedo tube-launched unmanned underwater vehicles. Subs of the class are also equipped with lockout chambers for divers and can carry SEAL mini-submarines.
And probably special forces. Just saying.
In addition to their attack mission, Virginia submarines are also useful surveillance platforms. Each has an extensive sonar suite with bulb, sail, and chin sonars covering the front hemisphere, sonar arrays on the flanks, and a towed array to detect objects in the sub's wake. The ship is equipped with electronic support measure sensors for detection of enemy signals and optronic sensors. These sensors can be augmented with data from UUVs and special forces. Intelligence can then be relayed to the surface and beyond via high-rate data transmitters.
So it wouldn't surprise me if the Navy SEALs actually launched from these things, not too far from the shore, getting launched from these things, swimming to shore, doing what they need to do, getting the hell out of there. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
The Virginia class is also a success from a cost perspective. The Seawolf class that preceded it was a financial disaster. 29 submarines were planned, but the first 3 ships averaged $4.4 billion each, and plans for further submarines were terminated. The Virginias, on the other hand, have come in at an average of just under $2 billion each.
That's an insane amount of money. Oh, it's America, though. They've got the money and they've got the ability and they've got the balls to be able to say, you know what, we're going to put the money where our mouth is. We need these things. We really do. Let's get them out there. $2 billion? Yeah, who cares? Let's go for it, man. Our budget can manage it.
Even better, by 2011, they were delivering early and under budget. USS Mississippi was commissioned a year early and $60 million under budget. In May, the U.S. Navy ordered 10 submarines from General Dynamics Electric Boat and Huntington Ingalls for $17.6 billion.
Guys, this is mega bucks.
Making the per-unit cost a bargain at $1.76 billion.
It's an absolute bargain, guys. Let's get a few more, shall we?
Under the agreement, each shipyard would churn out a submarine a year for 5 years, ensuring that 2 submarines would join the fleet annually.
So it's gradually grown its capability.
Ohio-class cruise missile submarine.
Ah,
The 4 guided missile submarines, SSGNs of the Ohio class, Ohio, Michigan, Florida, and Georgia, are 4 of the most heavily armed ships in the world. Each is equipped with 154 cruise missiles and can carry up to 4 platoons of Navy SEALs.
right. Okay, so now we are starting to talk about the Navy SEALs. The thing about the Navy SEALs that I think doesn't really get fully appreciated is just how capable they actually are. We see on TV all the stuff they get up to. You don't really see their capabilities and integration ability working on submarines and stuff like that. But my knowledge in the Royal Marines of, the equivalent special boat service, them guys do some really, really dangerous stuff. They are launching literally from the torpedo tubes on these things, launching undersea, swimming 6, 7, 8, 10 miles, whatever, even more to the shore in small raiding parties, doing the business, destroying whatever vehicles capable, and just doing some unbelievably hard stuff. We tend to see how hard their training is. We don't tend to see at all, due to the nature of the business, just how hard their real job is in real life. I salute them. I salute every single one of them. They do an awesome job, and I love every single one of them. And I think they're fantastic.
Originally constructed as ballistic missile submarines, each submarine carried 24 nuclear-tipped D5 Trident submarine-launched ballistic missiles.
Right, so I wonder if the Trident missiles mentioned here are the same ones that the United Kingdom has as a capability. I don't think they are. I might be wrong with that. Someone could let me know. I would appreciate it, man.
The terms of the START II treaty, the United States was left with 4 excess ballistic missile submarine hulls. Rather than decommission them, the U.S. Navy paid $4 billion to convert them to carry conventionally armed Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles. 22 of the Trident missile silos were converted to each hold 7 Tomahawk missiles. The result is a stealthy cruise missile platform capable of firing 154 Tomahawk missiles, a unique capability that greatly increases the U.S. Navy's firepower.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, imagine if they just had a reason to unleash all of them at once. It would be absolute mayhem from the sea. 140-odd missiles that are really capable of doing some proper damage. There's no, in all good, honest truth, me being I love the military. I'm a British man through and through. I love the British military, but we've got to be realistic. Even if you don't like America, you have to respect the capability. It's just unbelievable.
The precise loadout of each submarine is classified, but includes some mixture of Block 3 Tomahawk and Block 4 Tomahawk missiles. Tomahawk Block...
Look at them guys just chilling on the hull. Hey guys, what's happening? This is the thing that's another misunderstanding about the military. I can guarantee these guys here, they're pretty sick. They want to be home drinking beer with the girls and boys, man.
3C has a single 1,000-pound conventional warhead and a range of 1,000 miles. Block 3D has a payload of 166 cluster bomblets and a range of 800 miles.
Jesus, man, that's
Each
insane.
missile features multiple navigation methods and can guide itself to target by inertial navigation system, terrain contour matching, digital scene matching area correlator, and GPS. Tomahawk Block 4E adds the capability for each missile to conduct reconnaissance, bomb damage assessment, and retargeting. The missile can send back an image of the battle area in order, loiter while new target data is drawn up, and then substitute a new target for the old one. The missile is also significantly cheaper than previous Tomahawks. The remaining 2 Trident launchers were converted for use by Navy SEALs.
Look at that. Jesus, man.
And feature lockout chambers for exiting the submarine underwater.
So that's what we were talking about before, remember? So when I was talking to people about these guys actually launching from torpedo tubes and stuff, people going, that's a bit far-fetched. You've been watching too many Bond movies. But trust me, guys, that's what they actually do. Extremely dangerous as well.
The Ohio-class SSGNs can each carry 66 SEAL commandos, as well as
SEAL commandos? Is that the term? Guys from America? Let me know. I personally don't think that is the term.
embark a combination of 2 midget submarines or dry dock shelters. The Ohio submarines fired their first missiles in anger on March 19, 2011 during Operation Odyssey Dawn. USS Florida fired 93 Tomahawks against Libyan military targets.
Yes, I actually think I remember this. I was in Albania at the time in the mountains, and we actually got stood to. And what I mean by stood to, we actually got told, "Hey, you might be going there because it was kicking off and stuff." So our mountain training package got paused slightly for 24 hours because we had 24 hours notice to move. Quite an exciting time for me. It didn't materialize in the way we wanted it to, so hey, I get to talk about it anyway.
In the future, the cruise missile submarines could be used as motherships for unmanned underwater vehicles, UUVs.
Nice.
USS Ponce. It may seem strange for an aging amphibious transport dock to be on this list, and indeed, a week ago it wouldn't have made the cut. The 43-year-old USS Ponce, launched in July.
I'm not being funny, it's a terrible name. Ponce means something in the United Kingdom. Do a bit of research, drop a comment below what you think Ponce means. Yeah, it's not a name I would call my ship, that's for sure.
1971, served for years as a transport for U.S. Marines. Now it's an afloat forward staging base, and the first ship in the U.S. Navy operationally armed with a laser weapon. Wednesday, the U.S. Navy revealed that the laser weapon system, or LAWS, is now an operational weapon system. The laser system is cleared to fire in combat. The laser system is designed to target unmanned aerial vehicles, slow-moving helicopters, and fast patrol craft.
So it's basically a ninja.
The laser detonates an RPG-7 anti-tank rocket, burned out the engine of a small boat, and shot down a small unmanned aerial vehicle. The process appears to take a fraction of a second. The U.S. Navy claims that, per the Geneva Convention, the laser will not be used to target individual humans. It's safe to say, however, that detonating explosive devices, fuel, or causing catastrophic damage to a vehicle would have lethal consequences for the crew.
Which would, inevitably kill humans. So it's the terminology, all right? It tries to sound nice. It's a horrible bit of kit, but, in a horrible world, we need these things, unfortunately.
No details exist on the range of the LAWS or how many shots it can fire in an engagement.
Right, laser, obviously it's got a very, 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 very far capability. We can guarantee that. It's a laser at the end of the day.
The laser light does not appear visible to the naked eye. The system appears to be aimed by a shipboard operator using a modified video game controller.
Got to be the Xbox, hasn't it?
In a world of high-cost weapon systems, one of the most remarkable things about LAWS is the cost. LAWS cost only 69 cents per shot.
I mean, when you take into consideration how much some of these bits of kit actually cost, we've got weapon systems in the United Kingdom that literally cost tens of thousands to fire. And our budget in the UK is shit anyway, at the best of times. So less than $1, that's pretty cool.
With apparently only one shot needed to disable a small boat.
One shot, one kill.
The Griffin missile, which the U.S. Navy had also considered using against small boats, cost $99,000 each.
Hang on, why are they blowing desks up at sea? Like, why are they using that per se?
RAM, the point defense system that might otherwise engage UAVs, cost well over $250,000 per missile. LAWS even compares favorably to the 20mm cannon round fired by the Phalanx close-in weapon system. While we don't know how much the entire LAWS system actually costs,
millions.
These per-shot numbers are encouraging. LAWS is a 30-kilowatt laser system. The U.S. Navy plans to test more powerful 100 to 150 kilowatt systems within the next 2 years.
Right, so they've already been tested in that case. They're probably doing 1,000 kilowatt, Right then, troops, so that was that video, 5 scary reasons why China, Russia, and North Korea can't kill the US Navy. In short, they quite simply have not got a Navy that can withstand or compete to any degree with the US Navy. The US Navy is a formidable fighting force, or one that I admire. If anyone here has served in the US Navy, then thank you for your service. If anyone's watching this who served in the military, no matter what country you pertain to, thank you for your service also. I really appreciate you guys. And last but not least, thank you for stopping by by on the video. I really do appreciate it. I have been away for a long time. I've got a lot of catching up to do, so my sincere apologies for not putting content out as much as you guys would have would desire. But if you have made it through to the end of this very long video, I would like to know if you could drop a comment saying, yeah, I was here, and then I can kind of gauge how much you guys are watching the channel. But drop a comment below. And yeah, if you want to become a member, memberships, all of that stuff, links in the description, guys. But other than that, I just really, really appreciate you being here and supporting the channel no matter what. Until next time, peace.